Good day, fellow observers. Today we're going to do an international test. I'm here in Ontario, Canada, and I'm currently in Brampton. So this is a Square One shopping center test. It's gonna be a 23-minute drive, 12 miles. Let me activate FSD. Okay, so I'm in a neighborhood right now, and okay, good. So FSD is starting to move. And that was a bit of a quick acceleration, but it's now slowing down. So I was contemplating on whether I should do a Canadian test because I didn't know much about the layout of the whole place, but I think it's just good to just do it and see how FSD navigates through Canadian traffic. So now we are just circling, and in 0.2 miles we'll be making a right.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Balmoral Drive.
So I'm gonna set the temperature now to 60, low 60s.
Now turn right onto Balmoral Drive.
So you'll see more of the white here of the white noise, and now we're turning right here on stop. Okay, good. Now we have a green light right here. Nice.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Dixie Rd.
So let's see, okay.
Now turn right onto Dixie Rd.
Good left turn, right turn signal. Now, as you can see here in this area in Mississauga and Ontario, it is just similar to how the rules are in Long Island, New York, where right turn is permitted unless otherwise specified. So, okay, now we're making a lane change here to the leftmost lane. We'll be making a left turn soon anyway, so this is good positioning by FSD.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Clark Blvd. Now turn left onto Clark Blvd.
Okay, so we'll have to wait for the green here. So we are starting to move now, and FSD is going into position to make a left. And I think we'll have a bit of a window here, but let's see if we can take it, because there's a car right up ahead that is turning left as well. So trying to be careful here. Okay, it's seeing it. I'm seeing at the monitor that it's seeing the vehicles a bit far away. Okay, good. Alright, that was a good left turn. And so we're waiting for a green here. Now we have a green. Okay, this is straightforward. Will be making a right. So I just want to make sure that we are avoiding tolls. Okay, so we have avoid tolls because I just know from experience that it's not of a big deal.
In 500 feet, turn right to take the on 410 South ramp toward Toronto.
It's not a big deal if you avoid the tolls, because it's still reasonable in terms
Now
of
turn
arrival
right
time.
to take the on 410 South ramp.
And plus, I don't want to spend the toll for this, because whenever I'm here in Canada, I don't usually use the tolls. So this is how this test kind of mirrors how I would actually drive myself in terms of avoiding tolls and in terms of usage of highways. So now we are merging to 401. Wait, this is not 401. Hold on. So we are at 410. And now we're making the merge. Okay, good merge. And we will be staying here for the next 3.3 miles. So we have 2 miles left before we continue straight to 401. Now we're making a lane change, good. So as you can see, the traffic, it's not, I would not say that this is heavy traffic. This is on the lighter side. Okay, now we're making another lane change here. Okay, good.
In 1 mile, keep a right to take on 410 South toward on 401. Now keep right to take on 410 South.
Okay, we're making another lane change to the passing lane. Okay, we have enough room. That was straightforward. Okay, good adjustment here, slowing down.
In 1,000 feet, keep left to take Highway 410 toward on 403. Now keep left to take Highway 410.
So I just want to comment on how Canadian highways are built here. They are very spacious, and they have, I think they're fairly new infrastructure. And also I could sense like how the pace of living here in the area is on the slower side.
In 1 mile, keep left to take on 403 toward Hamilton.
So to me, this kind of drive is more of a leisure drive as opposed to be on New York highways where you'd have to be like super on your toes. So now we're making a lane change here. Alright, that was good.
Now keep left to take on 403. In 1,000 feet, keep left to take on 403 toward Hamilton. Now keep left to take on 403.
Okay, now we're making a lane change here. Okay, it postponed. I'm not sure why. Maybe it realized it doesn't have to. Oh, maybe it's a signal that it's going left of the fork. Okay, now we're slowing down and we're making a lane change. And the truck right after right ahead of us is also making one, and because that was the lane that ended, so now we're making another lane change here. So we have a series of lane changes.
In 1,000 feet, keep right to take on 403 west.
And I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but if you see on the left
Now
side,
keep right to take on 403 west.
square one is somewhere on the left side. And now here we are slowing down, we're about to exit. So there's a bit of traffic here.
In 1,000 feet, take exit 119 on the right onto Hurontario Street.
And now we're exiting. We have 3 minutes left and one mile. So that was fairly of a quick trip.
Now take exit 119 on the right. In 500 feet, turn left onto Hurontario Street.
Okay, good adjustment here, slowing down. Now we are going to make a left, and let's see. Okay, I think this lane that we're on is gonna be a left turn bay anyway, so we are still good. Okay, good adjustment here. Didn't really advance because of this car that just merged in front of us. Okay, now we are advancing.
Now turn left onto Hurontario Street.
Okay, now we're making the left. Okay, good. Okay, good slowdown here. Okay, so this is a good case here. Let's see what FSD is gonna do. So we are at a construction site. So this is the first construction site that FSD is going through on the Canadian soil. And now
In
it's making
500 feet, turn right onto Square One Drive.
So now it's making a lane change here, and let's see. Okay, so it sees the cones, but the cones really don't appear as cones. So those are my initial observations. Okay, now we're trying to merge here, and I think the car behind us is generous enough. So, okay, FSD is able to follow through
Now turn right onto Square One Drive.
the new path that the cones have carved out. So now we're making a right here. Okay, good. Okay, that was good. I think that was good. So that was reasonable to me. So we are
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the left.
the parking area of Square One. By the way, this is a very big mall, and I've seen this mall in different phases back in 2000s and 2010s. So it really changed a lot in terms of the stores that are in here and also the buildings around it. And now I just would like to see where FSD will stop, and will it stop on a parking spot. So now we have a green and we are advancing. Okay, so we are able to make it, I think. Okay, now I have to, okay, you know what, I'm just letting the car stop, because anyway, even if I've accelerated manually, I still would kind of get stuck in there. So I think FSD did a reasonable decision here, although we're kind of what do you call this, on the pedestrian crossing, and as you can see here, right here. So we are just waiting for a green light. Now we have it. Okay, now we're advancing. And I think we will reach our destination here, as you can see.
Now your destination is on the left.
Okay, so I'm gonna disengage here now to end my session and give my takeaways. So this is our first ever Canadian test, and we're doing it for 12.5.1.3. We started off from Brampton, and then we navigated here in Mississauga to square one. So first of all, it was able to navigate through the neighborhood, and initially the acceleration was kind of quick, and it was able to slow down, and then the
turn right.
Now the right turns were all good, and the left turn, the thing is, I don't remember the exact names. I think I could remember as far as Clark Avenue, was it? It was able to make a left turn or right turn there, and the crossings on lights, it was also good. I do have to say that the time of testing, we did it around late 3 p.m. and so there is not much traffic, and so that also played a part of FSD having just a light drive. Now we went to 401 and then we went to 410, I believe. Now I'm mixing things up here, but we went on the highway and it was able to merge well, and it was able to go through the exits reasonably as well. So it didn't get lost, it didn't have to recalculate, and it was able to make the lane changes. We had several lane changes earlier that came right after a merge, then went to the passing lane and did that. I think FSD, after an entry to a highway, it goes to the passing lane, so it was all good. Also, it is FSD's first time on navigating on a construction on Canadian soil. So it recognized the cones, that they are barriers, but if I look at the screen, it didn't come up as cones, but it's just like a hill that is more of like an obstacle. The thing is, it still did its job. It was able to navigate to square one through the construction site, and it was able to find its way, and I think that's good. And also earlier, the last light that we had, I almost pressed the accelerator because just to try and to catch the light, but I realized ultimately not to do it, because even though if the car advanced, we're still gonna get stuck at the intersection. Also, I have to point out that when FSD did that of not advancing even though it was green light, because there are cars ahead that's already on the intersection area, it stopped right over the pedestrian crossing, and just want to point that out. But still, I think it was a good decision because it didn't block intersections. So those are all my takeaways. It's more of like a leisure drive for this case, and it's the first test in Canada, and maybe we could do more tests. Let me know if you want more tests in Canada. I think it's good to have different places to test on, just to see how FSD manages different places and using the same vehicle. So those are my takeaways, and this is the Square One shopping center test. And if you find this video helpful or of value, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.